Jordan Poole needs to sit down with his family and loved ones, and he really needs to have a personality check. He's third in the NBA, third worst in the NBA at 39.6% shooting.
I gotta say, it's remarkable that the Warriors were able to win a championship with him 2 years ago.
He helped the Golden State Warriors win a championship. But ever since then, the word about him is that his head got big.
No one saw it coming. In the space of a single season, Jordan Poole went from being the Golden State Warriors' spark off the bench to a central player in an unsettling drama, one fueled by a sudden, explosive encounter. He was a talented young guard brimming with confidence, poised to extend the Warriors' legendary run. Then, an unexpected punch ripped through the chemistry that had made the team champions. Instead of entering the new season on a high note, the Warriors found themselves wrestling with fractured trust and a looming decision: keep nurturing a promising young talent or stick with their veteran core. Rumors swirled, fans speculated, and NBA insiders whispered about locker room unrest. But listen to this. From there, the Warriors made a radical choice, sending Poole to the Washington Wizards and effectively betting their future on aging stars, untested prospects, and quick fixes.
Guard Jordan Poole to the bench. After struggling in his first year in D.C., Poole was traded in the summer from Golden State after receiving a huge payday from the Warriors.
Suddenly, Poole was thrust into the spotlight on a team forced to rebuild on the fly. He faced an unforgiving schedule, learned through on-court struggles, and picked up valuable lessons in resilience. By 2022, Poole's game had evolved remarkably. He'd refined his shooting, sharpened his ball handling, and embraced a role in Steve Kerr's renowned three-guard lineup.
He was awesome. They absolutely got the most out of him, no question.
Playing alongside Curry and Thompson, Poole showcased flashes of brilliance. Fans and analysts praised his improved efficiency, while the Warriors welcomed what appeared to be a seamless succession plan, until the first signs of tension began to creep in. In a leaked practice video that stunned the basketball world, Draymond Green threw a punch at Jordan Poole, sending shockwaves through a franchise revered for its unity. The footage showed a brief verbal exchange exploding into something far more personal and deeply damaging. Wait until you hear the next part. Nobody expected Draymond, known for his fiery competitiveness, to escalate things that far. Behind the scenes, whispers grew about an ongoing personality clash that had turned toxic. Public apologies followed, but the sincere bond that once existed seemed to vanish overnight.
You know, I have apologized to my team. I have apologized to Jordan. And, I wanted to take that a step further, with the event yesterday, with the video leaking, a huge embarrassment that comes with that, not only for myself as I was the one that committed the action, the embarrassment that comes from me is what it is, and that's something that I have to deal with.
From that moment forward, it was obvious that the Warriors' locker room needed a drastic resolution. Players insisted they were moving on, but the visible tension in games and press conferences told a different story. Team insiders suggested it was only a matter of time before the front office made a definitive move. The resolution arrived with a bombshell announcement. Jordan Poole was headed to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Paul, and the Warriors were tossing in draft assets as sweeteners. The reaction was immediate and intense. Fans wondered why Golden State would jettison a 20-something guard with star potential for a 30-something veteran who had battled injuries in recent years. You'll never guess what happens next. In Washington, Poole was handed the keys to an offense desperate for a main scoring threat. On paper, it seemed ideal for him. A young guard free to explore his full range of skills, but for the Warriors, the trade signaled a pivot. Emphasize a short championship window around Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, while offloading the tension surrounding Poole. From that moment forward, it was obvious that the Warriors' locker room needed a drastic resolution. Players insisted they were moving on, but the visible tension in games and press conferences told a different story. Team insiders suggested it was only a matter of time before the front office made a definitive move. The resolution arrived with a bombshell announcement. Jordan Poole was headed to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Paul, and the Warriors were tossing in draft assets as sweeteners. The reaction was immediate and intense. Fans wondered why Golden State would jettison a 20-something guard with star potential for a 30-something veteran who had battled injuries in recent years. You'll never guess what happens next. In Washington, Poole was handed the keys to an offense desperate for a main scoring threat. On paper, it seemed ideal for him. A young guard free to explore his full range of skills, but for the Warriors, the trade signaled a pivot. Emphasize a short championship window around Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, while offloading the tension surrounding Poole. Here's where the story really heats up. Slowly but surely, he started adjusting. His shot selection grew smarter, he developed better passing instincts, and his confidence, though tested, remained intact. Washington fans saw flashes of hope in an otherwise grim season, while Warriors followers could only watch and wonder if they had let a future star slip away for pennies on the dollar. By mid-season, Jordan Poole hit a new stride. He began posting eye-catching numbers, high-scoring nights that showcased his improved range and newfound leadership on the floor. More importantly, he maintained efficiency over multiple games, no longer just firing shots, but also setting up teammates when double-teamed. Believe it or not, that's not the end of it. Even Draymond Green, who had played an outsized role in Poole's departure, vaguely praised his progress, suggesting Poole had matured as a player. Suddenly, Jordan Poole highlights were back in circulation, and NBA fans were debating whether he might someday make an all-star team. Though the Wizards kept losing, front office optimism grew. A young guard putting up big numbers even in defeats can be the foundation of a franchise. Provided management uses cap space and draft picks wisely, could Poole be the key to Washington's long-awaited rebuild? That was the burning question on everyone's mind. Here's where it gets complicated. Jordan Poole is still in his mid-20s, with his prime likely a year or two away. The Wizards have a choice: build around him by adding complementary stars and sturdy role players, or leverage his rising value in a trade for future draft assets. Washington's track record, however, isn't exactly encouraging. Fans recall high hopes for John Wall and Bradley Beal that never translated to sustained playoff success. Poole's contract is seen as relatively manageable for a player of his potential. Any contending team looking for a spark would see him as an attractive piece, potentially driving his trade value sky high. If the Wizards decide they can't optimize his talents quickly, they might flip him for younger prospects or picks and reset the rebuild once again. Hold on, because this next part changes everything. Meanwhile, the Warriors continue to grapple with their own challenges, leaning heavily on an aging Steph Curry while hoping to squeeze one more championship out of the original core. The regret of losing Poole, who might have taken the torch from Curry and Thompson, lingers in the minds of fans. If Golden State's latest gambles don't pan out, people will forever question if one emotional outburst doomed them to a faster decline than necessary. The chain reaction started in mere seconds. A single punch in practice that pulled back the curtain on the Warriors' underlying tension. Jordan Poole, once a budding hero in the Bay, now stands at the center of Washington's rebuilding hopes, or perhaps as its next trade chip. For Golden State, it's a stark reminder that even a championship culture can implode if critical relationships crumble. They bet it all on the short-term fix, shipping Poole away and trusting veterans to extend a dynasty's life. Whether the gamble pays off or backfires remains to be seen. Poole's evolution as a primary scorer in Washington speaks to what might have been if cooler heads had prevailed in Golden State. There's a reality in which Draymond never throws that punch. Poole matures into the rightful heir of the Splash Brothers, and the Warriors thrive for years to come. Instead, he's charting a new path in a different city, armed with the potential to become an all-star and the sting of a franchise that gave up on him too soon. Whether he remains the face of the Wizards or fuels a contender's title run somewhere else, one fact is inescapable. A single moment of conflict changed everything, setting two organizations on vastly different courses, and leaving fans to wonder what kind of legacy Jordan Poole might yet carve out from the chaos. Thank you so much for watching till the very end. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss our next upload.